This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 21st day of February in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. A high-level team from the government of Guyana today met with officials of the Rusal Bauxite Company and told them that Guyanese workers must be treated in a respectful manner and at all times the country's labor laws must be upheld. Ministers Amne Ali, Joe Harmon, Raphael Trotman and Keith Scott, along with the Chief Labor Officer, met with the Rusal representatives. The meeting was called by the government following the company's firing of 61 workers after they went on a strike action over a 1% increase in their salaries. At the meeting, it was made clear that the government views the ongoing dispute as serious.
After we have laid out some of the issues that are being experienced, the executive will be taking this matter to their principals, have a discussion with them, and then they will get back to us. Meanwhile, we are continuing our engagements on the ground with other workers.
Minister Amne Ali, she said the government has laid out its contentions while the company was also given the opportunity to do so. The dismissed workers will also be given a chance to have their side heard.
We are going to have a second round of engagement where Minister Scott, the minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, and the person who deals specifically with labor will be engaging the workers at Aruaima tomorrow to have some discussions with them.
The Rusal company has said it dismissed the workers because their strike action affected the company's operations and it was unjustified. Today, veteran trade unionist Lincoln Lewis stressed that a clear message needs to be sent to Rusal.
When people come here to invest, they must understand something very clear. That we Guyanese, under the leadership of Critchlow, we established a forced trade union in the British Empire, right? We are a people who have fought slavery, indentureship, colonialism, and we shall not allow anybody to reinstitute any form of those economic measures that were in place that we fought against. They will have to advise. I hope the government advised them very clearly.
Mr. Lewis said the company must not be allowed to further disrespect its workers and the workers must be allowed to have union representation by a union of their choice. More news coming up in a moment.
Here now, I want to switch over to GTT right now, because all this time and money I waste on a calls alone can just send up my blood pressure.
You've come to the right place.
Really?
Once you're switched over with our network, you can activate our Fab 5 plan. With our Fab 5 plan, you can enjoy free unlimited calls with 4 family and friends.
You got to be kidding me.
You will also get 5 gigabytes of data with 250 text messages.
You got to be kidding me.
And your chosen 4 can also call you for free.
You got to be kidding me.
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only $5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
As a luxury mechanic, I'm often asked, what gas should I use in my expensive vehicle? In other countries, you have regular and mid-grade gasoline known as 87, 89, and premium gasoline known as octane 93 to 95. For affordable, high-quality fuel, performance and high mileage, visit Guy Oil today. Choose Guy Oil Super 95. Guy Oil, we are everywhere.
Guyana, are you ready to turn up the praise? Riot, in collaboration with Gospel Fest, brings to you one of the biggest gospel events for the year. Turn Up the Praise, featuring out of Trinidad and Tobago, Blessed Messenger, Jaron Nurse, and Guyana's award-winning recording artist, Samuel Meadows.
Welcome back. Still in the world of politics, let's tell you now that opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo today said his party will not be voting to extend the timelines for the hosting of elections. Under the Constitution of Guyana, following the successful passage of a no-confidence motion, elections has to be called within 90 days or at a time agreed to by 2/3 of the National Assembly. That means that both sides will have to agree to a date outside of the 90 days. The Guyana Elections Commission has said that elections cannot be held within the 90-day timeline, which comes to an end on March 19. At his weekly press conference today, the opposition leader made it clear that at this point, they're not voting to extend that date.
That timeline cannot be altered by the courts. That would mean that the courts basically would be altering a provision of the Constitution. And the Constitution says that the 3 months can only be extended if you have 2/3 vote of the National Assembly. And at this point in time, we are not going to vote with APNU to extend that timeline, the 3 months that would expire sometime in March.
Mr. Jagdeo blasted the Guyana Elections Commission over its statement that the elections cannot be held within the 90-day period. He said it appears as though GCOM is complicit with the government of Guyana in violating the Constitution.
Clearly, this is untenable. And we will not sit idly by and allow GCOM to subvert the Constitution to its will. It's a creature of the Constitution, and it must act accordingly. And we'll be calling, I've seen how the international community in other parts of the world have dealt with politically aligned elections commissions. And this is a standard example. You don't want any more evidence than to demonstrate now that this is an elections commission that because of the president's ruling that violated, or his unilateral appointment of the chairman of GCOM, has now become a PNC APNU dominated elections commission.
The opposition leader said he will be calling on the Chancellor of the Judiciary to ensure that there is an early hearing of the appeals in the no-confidence cases. The opposition leader also said he intends to write the international community seeking sanctions against the government and possibly GCOM officials over any delay in the hosting of early elections. There have been calls by civil society for the president and the opposition leader to meet and have the issue addressed politically. Mr. Jagdeo said he does not intend to request any meeting at this time and will not be part of any meeting for public relations purposes. He said the government appears in denial since the no-confidence motion, and he does not understand why he has to always be the responsible one. The Guyana Goldfields Company has announced that it has received environmental authorization from the Environmental Protection Agency to resume construction and development of its underground exploration. According to the company, the mine, which has been in commercial operation as an open pit since 2016, is anticipated to transition into an eventual combined open pit and underground operation and will become the first modern underground mine developed in Guyana. The underground decline is intended for exploration and definition drilling in support of planned underground production. The company temporarily suspended work on the underground decline in November of last year at the request of the Environmental Protection Agency. It said the authorization to resume operations follows the provision by the company to the EPA of additional information concerning the application of internationally accepted codes concerning the environment, health, safety practices, and other issues being proposed. Some tragic news to report now. The Guyana Police Force reported today that another young miner has died in yet another mining pit collapse in the interior region. The latest accident occurred on Wednesday afternoon at Gold Hill Bag Dam, Upper Mazaruni, and has claimed the life of 17-year-old miner Romeo Rubin. Initial investigations have disclosed that Rubin and 2 other miners were working in the pit when its eastern wall suddenly broke apart, sending a large piece of land rushing into the pit. The young man was covered for about 5 minutes as the other workers went in search of help. He was still alive when he was pulled from the pit and was rushed to the health facility close by, but died while receiving medical attention. The body has since been flown to the city for a post-mortem examination. An investigation team from the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission is now expected to fly into the area to begin the probe. Guyana has recorded a number of fatal mining accidents over the past few years. Unsafe and illegal mining practices have been blamed for most of those accidents. The Guyanese man in Canada who was accused of killing his daughter on her 11th birthday died in a hospital on Wednesday evening, Toronto police have confirmed. According to reports, the man, Rupesh Rajkumar, had been hospitalized with a self-inflicted gunshot wound shortly after his arrest. His daughter, Ria Rajkumar, became the subject of an Amber Alert late last Thursday night after her father allegedly indicated to her mother that he planned to hurt both the child and himself. Shortly after the alert was sent out, police knocked on the man's door and found the child's body. Officers have not released her cause of death and note that the homicide unit will continue its investigations. Rajkumar was arrested by the police and charged with first-degree murder. The child died on Valentine's Day, which was the birthdays of both her and her mom. Across the region, up next.
This match day, February 23rd, Hits and Jams Entertainment brings you an event like no other. Sunrise Brunch Party. The first of its kind in Guyana. The day starts off with a delicious brunch served from 10 a.m. followed by the day party with the best lineup of DJs. Shizzle, Diamond, Sia, Ryan, and Energy at the Everest Cricket Ground. Sunrise Brunch Edition brought to you by Hits and Jams Entertainment. Stay tuned for more details.
Let's bet sports. Take your game to a whole new level. You decide. Your game, your bet type, your bet amount. Guyana Lottery Companies. Let's bet sports. Be part of the game.
Across the region right now, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has announced that he is closing the border with Brazil tonight as a row over foreign humanitarian aid continues. The embattled leftist leader went on TV to say that he was also considering shutting the border with Colombia to stop the opposition bringing in relief. He denies any crisis and calls the aid delivery a U.S. orchestrated show. Opposition leader Juan Guaido is leading a convoy to the Colombian border from the capital of Caracas. Mr. Guaido declared himself interim leader during an anti-government protest last month and is recognized by dozens of foreign states as the interim president. In Jamaica, a scientist is supporting that country's health ministry in seeking to assure members of the public that they have nothing to fear with the expected release of 500,000 sterile male mosquitoes starting March 2020. Since the announcement, several people have expressed concern about possible risk. However, Charles Grant, who is Director General of the International Center for Environmental and Nuclear Science at the University of the West Indies, said the sterile mosquitoes will not pose a threat to the public because they will not be able to reproduce. And finally, tonight, international news. Two of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's strongest challengers in April elections have announced a centrist alliance in a bid to defeat him. Ex-Army Chief Benny Gantz and centrist politician Yair Lapid agreed to rotate as Prime Minister if they win. Separately, Mr. Netanyahu forged an alliance with several far-right parties to try to shore up votes. His right-wing party leads the polls despite an investigation into corruption allegations against him. The Israeli Attorney General is due to make a decision on whether Mr. Netanyahu, who denies the allegations, should be charged in the coming weeks. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.